Hi Kevin, I'm Mike. You and I have spoke. This is a Vacucraft bowl. You've seen them before. This you may not have seen before is a CO2 dispenser by FiZZ GiZ. That's my product, and it has a thumb button up here that you can use to press. And when you do press it, listen, you get CO2 that comes out. Now, I want to show you something. I've got a little bit of cold water in this bowl. I'm going to take the lid off. It has a center button that exhaust gas can be pumped out of using Vacucraft's pump. It has a little indicator button, soft rubber bubble that becomes depressed when there's a vacuum inside the bowl. And it also has a little thing that you've never seen before in a Vacucraft lid, and that's my patented FiZZ GiZ plug valve. Looks like this on the inside, and it allows gas to flow through one way and not out the same valve the other way. This is an escape valve, which allows gas to escape and prevents air from going back in through in this direction, so you can pump air out in the hole surrounding this valve, and then, you know, the air won't go back through the same hole and into the container. So let me use my coffee cup here as a camera stand. Try to demonstrate something that some people don't understand about CO2. CO2 is hydrophilic. It loves water. Now I'm going to dispense into here. And while I'm dispensing into it, you can see the water boiling around in there. This valve is allowing that water, or that gas, the air, to come out. So the more I dispense in here, the more the CO2 mixes with the, you know, the water or the air in the headspace. And so now I'll shake it up and take a look at what has happened to this valve, or this little indicator bubble on top. Notice it has become depressed. You see that? I hope you can see that. And it's become depressed because the CO2 that was in this headspace, when I shook it up, much of it went into the water because, like I said, it's hydrophilic. It loves water. You shake it up a little more, and that you know, button will remain depressed. The seal is so good here and along the perimeter here that this will hold a vacuum for more than a week. I've already tested it. So let me put a little bit more in here. And you saw the bubble pop back up there. Okay? And now I'll give it a shake. You see the bubble is up. So we'll give it a shake. A little bit more. And you'll see that it's starting to get depressed. You see there? You see the little dimple there? So let me give it a few more shakes. So, you see how much more it has become depressed. Same thing happens when you pump the air out with the Vacucraft pump through this opening here. So, the reason there's a vacuum up here pulling down this this little bubble seal is because the CO2 that was in here loves water and has now gone into the water and created a partial vacuum up here. So that water is now slightly carbonated. This is a very good way of demonstrating how a Vacucraft bowl will hold a seal, by the way. You can actually sit this on your counter for a week and come back to find that this, this little bubble indicator here is still depressed, indicating that the pressure inside the bowl is lower than the pressure outside the bowl, and so therefore the air outside is pushing down and depressing the little bubble indicator. So a very good seal technology has been applied by the Vacucraft people for their bowls, and these bowls make wonderful storage containers because now this bowl contains absolutely no air. I mean, it may contain 1 or 2%, but we put sufficient amount of CO2 from the FiZZ GiZ dispenser gun into the bowl to completely purge out all of the air, getting rid of that pesky oxygen. Hope this is of a good use to you and perhaps of interest, I'll send you some of these FiZZ GiZ plug valves. All you have to do to install one of them, and let me open this. Okay, you heard the air rush into the container, and now you notice that the little bubble button is back in its original configuration. It is no longer depressed like it was. So, yeah, let me open this for you. Now, the FiZZ GiZ plug valve did its job, shake some of this water off, and allowed the CO2 to come inside of the headspace of the container, and the perimeter seal around the edge of this lid did its job and kept air from infiltrating back into the container once a vacuum was created inside, which happened when I shook the container and mixed the CO2 into the water. And this center valve here is very effective. It does not allow gas from the outside to escape through the perimeter. You can kind of see the hole there. This soft, pliable material creates a really functional seal and prevents air from going inside through the hole and into the bowl. This is a great bowl for using modified atmosphere packaging techniques to preserve foods for longer periods of time. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you.